We're in the National Wildlife Reserve Museum, and we're about to leave.
Oh, the chipmunk.
Who are you looking for? A chipmunk? Where?
Right here, I see it. Oh, look.
Oh, I'll be daggum. Look at that little chipmunk.
Where's the chipmunk?
He's right underneath there. That fox
Oh,
about
that
to
fox
get
about to get him,
No
though.
restrooms on the ride anywhere. So if you need to go to the bathroom, this is it. Oh, we're going to the sleigh ride.
Put those on.
Mama, I think we can't redo
Yes, you have to. Yeah, it'll fit. Look, it'll sure does. Not in there.
I can get my,
How are you doing?
I'm good.
All right.
Great. All right, Ross.
Yeah, wrap up that little one real good. So good to have you out, folks. Your driver in front here, this is David.
Hi, guys.
This guy's an expert horseman, knows a ton about these elk, this refuge. He'll be sharing information with you today. Feel free to ask him questions. You can ask him easy questions, yeah, hard questions, whatever. In fact, sweetheart, if you want to ask him, how did your legs get so furry?
Personal.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
You do have furry legs.
he'll take care of you. We appreciate his efforts. Let him know when you get back in. David, it's all yours.
Thank you, sir. Alrighty, folks, welcome out. Real quick before we take off, I do have a couple of safety information with you about the refuge, the horses, the elk, anything else we come across. By all means, feel free to ask questions at any time throughout the week. Has anybody been on these rides before?
Oh.
These guys here, when were you here last?
20 years ago.
20 years ago. Been a little while then. All right, well, just for my own fun, where is everybody from? Wisconsin.
Texas.
Texas. We can go get more blankets if you need. You can
Yeah. I'm going to get under the blanket with this guy here in a minute.
Go ahead, I won't stop.
more body heat, right?
Oh, wow.
Australia.
Oh, wow.
That's south of Texas.
Also summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are, you know, it's pretty distinct for the most part. And a lot of that is outside of the rut season, the hormone levels in both the cows and the bulls is low enough. They don't have much of a desire to hang out with each other right now. The cows have cows with them that are only about 6, maybe 7 months old right now. They're only about 200 pounds. And they don't want to compete with the bulls and their antlers for feed. And then because there's a lot more cows and calves than there are bulls out here, the bulls don't like all the ruckus. So they tend to kind of just stay separated from each other for the most part. You know, there's always going to be some intermixing going on there.
That's all sounding familiar to me for some reason.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of similarities
Yeah.
between elk and people. You can see there's a little calf, that little guy that just got up right there. So that calf was just born last spring. As they're born, they're only about 40 pounds. Takes them all the summer and fall to get closer to the 200. Sometimes
Seems
not very
unusual,
often.
though, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often. But I'd say it's more unusual actually that the bulls are, you know, hanging out together, because just a few months ago, as they were going through the rut, they were getting pretty aggressive, fighting with each other for the cows during that mating season in the fall. Some of these bulls will use their antlers to fight for harems of 20 to 30 cows, and it gets pretty intense. It's pretty neat, yeah, but it is wild. We just got those this spring, and then laying down right here in the middle.
The 7x7, is that the biggest
That's
one here?
7x7. As far as all these other bulls, he's definitely the biggest bull that's out here. He is a monster. He's this one sitting right in the middle right here, kind of chewing his cud. He's
Yeah.
kind of
Just
looking
looking at us like-
yeah.
He's looking like he's the biggest one out here.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. Now, there isn't necessarily a bull out here that's going to tell all the other bulls what to do, but what he does is whatever he wants. The others tend to just kind of follow. A lot of the younger bulls will actually mimic him to, you know, try and learn from him. So if you guys have ever seen Blazing Saddles, we call him Mongo. Mongo. So to give you an idea how, you know, big he is, on average, their antlers out here are going to weigh 10 to 12 pounds per side. Old Mongo right there, he's more like 16 to 18 pounds
Wow.
What's his
per
inches?
side. He's got what, 35 plus pounds sitting on his head.
How big is he?
I'm sorry?
How many
a
inches?
score?
Score.
Have y'all
What's
scored
his-
him?
Oh, you think add up all the inches to get a score. So when I say 350, 360, that's 350 to 360 inches. That's pretty substantial, to be honest with you. To get in the record books, you got to get into the 370, 380 range. Now, to get a 400 class bull, 400 inches or higher, is 1 out of every 10,000 head of elk.
Really?
So in the last 7 years, I've seen 2 out here. that
They
we
usually
put.
stay further in the back country, or?
Yeah, and actually, every year there's anywhere from 300 to 400 bulls that hang out. They're very wild.
So you guys do take care of them too, though. I mean, they're not.
Oh no, yeah, they feed everything out here. As long as they're on the refuge, they're gonna get feed. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, old Mongo right there. After he shed his antlers last year, we were able to come and help the refuge gather some of the antlers up, and his happened to be part of them. And I have small hands, but I couldn't get my hands around the base of his antlers. He is a big boy. So now we are a private or a separate contractor to the refuge. We work in partnership with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. So it is illegal for us to come out here and gather up the antlers. However, because we're out here on such a consistent basis, as the bulls start shedding, which usually is through March, we can kind of alert the refuge to where some of the big ones like Mongo shed, so they can come out and gather them up, match them up, and then on occasion they'll utilize the sleigh rides to let us take them out there, and then we help them gather up that way. Now ultimately what will eventually happen is the elk all leave. The scouts come out here. It's a huge relief for him to shed his antlers. So it is a pedicle, is what they call it, that actually grows the antler. Now that's what's attaching to the growth plate in the skull. And unfortunately, we see probably 2 or 3 younger bulls a year that bit off a little more than they could chew in a fight. Because even by age 2, usually it's more like 3, but even by age 2, as they get that first set of antlers, the bulls have the sexual maturity to be able to reproduce. However, they typically just don't have body and antler size to accomplish that. But they have that drive, that desire, so they come in and fight on a bull that's considerably larger, they're going to get hurt. So we call this guy One-Eyed Willie. So Willie right here probably bit off more than the horses move, and then he turned to look, and he noticed he's actually getting blind in his left eye. So that's going to be a challenge for him as well. But luckily he relies more on smelling and hearing than eyesight anyway. Well, folks, we do need to start heading back in. Any last-minute photos before we take off? You guys got some good ones?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you freezing back there?
We're good. Oh, we're good.
Yeah, you're bundled up mighty bad.
Y'all got a lot of freakish animals out here.
We do?
That's amazing. No ears, horns shooting out.
Well, I don't know.
He's bound to be out here somewhere.
Probably, yeah. Probably. Well, it's had its head down the whole time, so I haven't really pointed it out. But as we circle around, I'll show you, just as we're leaving.
All right.
You're talking about odd elk. I won't use the word you use. That's
What did you use on it?
unique elk.
These daggum animals are. Boy.
My pleasure. Yeah, absolutely.